So, where did the idea for the Land Down Under come from?
So actually, the idea for the Land Down Under came from a project inspired by one of my favorite teachers back in fourth grade. We were reading books like The Giver and I believe a little bit of The Hunger Games, and we were delving into those themes of utopia versus dystopia, and we were trying to engage with those themes ourselves. And so we created a diorama of a world that we had created in our minds, and that's where the idea came from. This idea of little paper people on a perfect track where everything looks perfect, kind of like a storefront display or something of that sort. But that's where a lot of the creatures as well and the lore of the area came from, and this world. The Queen of Hearts, which of course maybe had some inspiration from other sources, and the king that's a basilisk that lives under the sea, who was probably drawn from a Harry Potter book I had been reading, and that kind of stuff. So that really did start us off on the path, because I had made this diorama and it was like such a beautiful world that we wanted to take advantage of. So we did, and I think today we've been able to keep that same plot and all the lore, but it's really developed into more of that, more than that. Because at the beginning, when you're writing a story, you have the plot and you have the world, but we really delve deep into a lot of different themes, right? Like when you're a kid, it's fun to focus on one theme, and we were exploring that idea of dystopia, but more of these ideas that you realize as you're growing older of the complexities of these issues of fitting in, and not only that, but things being attractive, and things like that, and safety and family, and all these ideas that really were able to develop because I was in high school, and we continued to write it for so long. We were able to get that childlike imagination, but also the perspective of age in that story at the same time. So I'm really proud of the work.
That's a good pick. Who's your target audience for the Land Down Under?
I'd love to have our target audience be fourth graders, because that's where I got my inspiration from. And I believe we don't give fourth graders enough credit. I was looking into a lot of deeper meanings of books when I was younger, and you're going to read a book differently at every age. But I'd really love for someone like me to pick up this book and be able to realize these themes that I was so inspired by, the same way that I was.
What does the story say about perfection?
I think this story speaks to a lot of people's experience with not only, themes of like social norms in society and how people should look, but other aspects of perfection, and how your personality is expected to be perfect, or some of these things that kids, especially these days, are struggling with in school, of being textbook perfect, and getting the straight A's, and not letting their imagination wander, or their Wanda wild side out, that kind of thing. And right, like there's also beauty in the clashing of different perspectives and different characters that you see throughout the story.